Nelson Mandela went on to become South Africa's first black president after the ANC won the elections in 1994. His presidency focused on reconciliation, nation-building, and addressing the challenges inherited from the apartheid era. Nelson Mandela's release was a watershed moment, signaling the beginning of the end of apartheid and the start of a remarkable journey toward democracy and reconciliation in South Africa. Nelson Mandela's presidency in South Africa from 1994 to 1999 was a historic period marked by the transition from apartheid to a multiracial democracy. Here are key aspects of Mandela's presidency and its impact on South Africa. Mandela's presidency began with the first multiracial democratic elections in South Africa, held in April 1994. The African National Congress, ANC, won the elections and Mandela became South Africa's first black president. Mandela's presidency was characterized by a commitment to reconciliation between the previously divided racial and ethnic groups in South Africa. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission, TRC, was established during Mandela's tenure to address past human rights abuses and facilitate healing. Mandela faced significant challenges in addressing the social and economic inequalities inherited from the apartheid era. His government implemented policies to expand access to education, healthcare, and housing, particularly in disadvantaged communities. Mandela played a key role in the development of a new constitution for South Africa, adopted in 1996. The constitution aimed to protect human rights, establish a system of checks and balances, and ensure equal rights for all citizens. Mandela's presidency marked a departure from South Africa's isolation during the apartheid years. He worked to improve international relations, foster economic partnerships, and re-establish South Africa's place in the global community. Mandela voluntarily stepped down from the presidency in 1999, adhering to a principle of limited terms in office. His decision to step down after one term set a precedent for peaceful transitions of power in South Africa. Mandela's presidency left a lasting legacy of reconciliation and democracy. His leadership during the transition from apartheid to democracy earned him global admiration, and he became an international symbol of forgiveness, peace, and human rights. After leaving the presidency, Mandela remained active in various humanitarian causes, including HIV/AIDS awareness, education, and conflict resolution. He continued to use his influence to promote peace and justice globally. Mandela's leadership was characterized by a commitment to inclusivity, forgiveness, and the pursuit of national unity. His approach to governance emphasized dialogue and consensus building, seeking to bridge divides and build a united South Africa. Mandela's presidency not only transformed South Africa politically but also served as a beacon of hope and inspiration for oppressed people around the world. His ability to forgive, his dedication to justice, and his commitment to reconciliation continue to inspire leaders and citizens globally. Nelson Mandela's presidency was a critical chapter in South Africa's history, representing the triumph of democracy over apartheid and setting the nation on a path of reconciliation and nation-building. Reconciliation and nation-building were central themes during Nelson Mandela's presidency in South Africa from 1994 to 1999. Mandela, recognizing the deep divisions and wounds caused by decades of apartheid, sought to build a united, inclusive, and democratic nation. Here are key aspects of reconciliation and nation-building under Mandela. The TRC was established in 1995 under the leadership of Archbishop Desmond Tutu. The commission aimed to uncover and address the human rights abuses committed during the apartheid era, providing a platform for victims and perpetrators to share their stories. The TRC held amnesty hearings, allowing those who committed politically motivated crimes to apply for amnesty in exchange for full disclosure. The process aimed at acknowledging past wrongs, facilitating forgiveness, and fostering a sense of accountability. Public hearings were a key component of the TRC, allowing victims to share their experiences and giving perpetrators an opportunity to seek forgiveness. The televised hearings brought the realities of apartheid to the forefront, fostering a collective understanding of the country's painful history. Mandela, through his words and actions, consistently emphasized reconciliation and forgiveness. He visited the families of apartheid victims and, notably, had private meetings with former apartheid leaders, including P.W. Botha and Betsy Verwoerd, widow of apartheid architect Hendrik Verwoerd. Mandela engaged in symbolic gestures aimed at healing the wounds of the past. For instance, he wore the jersey of the South African national rugby team, traditionally associated with white Afrikaners, during the 1995 Rugby World Cup final. This act helped bridge racial divides. Mandela's government implemented educational and social programs to address historical injustices and inequalities. Initiatives focused on improving access to education, healthcare, and housing in historically disadvantaged communities. Mandela recognized the unifying power of sports. The 1995 Rugby World Cup, hosted in South Africa, became a symbol of national unity as Mandela supported the predominantly white team and wore the team's jersey. Mandela promoted national symbols such as the new flag and the national anthem to create a sense of shared identity among South Africans. Mandela's commitment to inclusivity was evident in the 1994 democratic elections, which allowed all South Africans, regardless of race, to participate in the political process. Mandela's approach to reconciliation and nation-building left a lasting legacy. His commitment to forgiveness and unity helped South Africa transition from a divided society to a democracy. Mandela's efforts in reconciliation and nation-building resonated globally, inspiring similar movements and contributing to the discourse on conflict resolution and transitional justice. Nelson Mandela's leadership in reconciliation and nation-building was a critical component of South Africa's post-apartheid transition. His vision of a united, diverse nation laid the foundation for a more inclusive and democratic South Africa. A rainbow nation.